Let's see if we can get. Hey guys, hey everybody. Let me get everybody on here. Everybody here. Welcome to Knowledge is Power podcast. They just appeared on me, so they'll come back on the screen. There we go. All right. Hello, Trisha.
Hi.
You blanked out again on me. Okay, I can hear you, but I don't see you. It's good to have you. It just don't seem like it's been over a week since we've been on. And that's Mr. Perry Busby. Hello, Perry.
Hey, how you doing, Super
I'm good.
T?
I'm
Good to
good. I'm
see
good.
you.
I'm good. It
How
is
you
so
doing,
good to
Trish?
have y'all. It don't seem like it's been. I was just telling Trisha, it don't seem like
Hi.
it's been a year since. I mean, a week since we've been on.
Yeah.
But we're back here again, and we're just waiting on a few folks to join in, and we're ready to go.
And
Uh,
happy birthday.
my birthday is Tuesday, but thank you anyway.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, there's some things I need to add to up my screen, so we're not adding it yet. But tonight we've got a guest, Pastor Michael Cooper of the Church of I Am and the NAACP president of the Beaumont branch. We're going to chop it up with him on talking about bringing the community together, unity and strength and the power, because we have it. We just got to bring it together. And we're going to bring Pastor Cooper with us in a few seconds. Hello, I want to get a big shout out to my cousin Brenda Blood Foster. Oh, thank you for my birthday wish. But my birthday is on the 20th of September, which is Tuesday. But I'll accept that. I'll take that as it is. Hey, we want your feedback too. You got any comments, live comments? We want your comments and post your comments. And Pastor Cooper will address whatever the question you have and how we can put this all together and make our community much stronger. But we've got to put it together, bring it together. So now I will bring our guest, Pastor Michael Cooper. Hello.
Hello. How y'all doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Let's see if I can get my crew here. Where are they? Let me put them back on here. Let's see here if I can get them back on the screen because we're using a new platform now. And
Yeah, I see that.
yeah, I'm saying that's one, but I'm gonna take her off and I'm gonna go. There we go. There we go. All right, now I'm okay. Now, Coop, I'm gonna have you as the main focus point. There we go. All right. Okay, but we're still here with you. Okay. All right.
Good.
God. Okay, good. So, Mike, what made you think about what got underneath your skin to want to just say, hey, listen, guys, I want to. I need to we need to bring the community together. I just need to know what got underneath your skin there that just say, hey, we got to do what we got to do. But I do understand, but I'd like for everyone else to know.
Sure. Hey, thank you. I heard you say twice now your birthday is September 20th, Tuesday.
Yes.
So I want to give you a shout out today because I may not see you Tuesday.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And you have a wonderful team here. You guys for having me. My friend Perry Busby and Ms. Tricia. This is very important. I had someone that was speaking to me about cases we're working on as the president of NAACP. I say we, because we were asking one day, they said, well, how many members do you have? I said, well, how many folks in Southeast Texas? Phone calls from Black, white, Hispanic. NAACP is not owned by Blacks. Out there working for civil rights, all people's rights. We're fighting for injustice. And said injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. We're fighting for civil rights, human rights. It's a shame. I saw, I think it was on the news last week about a dog that was left in the dumpster in a plastic bag, and the world was upset. And I get it. Animals can't do anything to protect them. Human beings are being mistreated and treated like animals. We do something, and so we have over 300,000 people in this area that we represent, and a lot of people. So that is not about the NAACP. It's about protecting the rights of humans, and you all have your pulse on the community. I was actually told, they said, listen, we need to hear from CU, and they didn't tell me to go to channel 6, 12, 4, ABC, NBC on this Knowledge is Power podcast. Now I say, wait, hold on, y'all talking about my feedback. We prayed together, pray for each other in business, entrepreneurs, businessmen, that we operate in areas that people don't look like us. A lot longer than I've been doing it, so I'm actually standing on his shoulders. So again, I thank you for being a businessman. And it is a struggle when you're not 4 generations. You know, a lot of those folks, the business we're in, they're 4 and 5 generations do what we're doing. And for that, I say thank you. And so that's the reason why I called you. I said, we need to get on the podcast. She said, what do you want to talk about? I said, we want to talk about being a civil rights worker and being a protester, a civil protester in the 21st century. I believe it's a lot easier when the enemy is aggressive, dogs on you, and doesn't like you and is aggressive toward you. I believe that we're getting comfortable with the fact that we all now have access to our Mercedes garage, 1-story flat or whatever it is, and I think we're getting off. But we still have institutional, systematic issues, and that's a guy in phrase institutional racism. Today we call it systematic racism. He coined that phrase. So this is not an attack on an individual or a chief or sheriff or a mayor. This is a response to what it is that we need to correct systems that have been in place. Now we can have new elected officials in those positions, and they're dealing with and having to rule with the laws that 35, the year that Beaumont was founded, 1901, spelling top, put us on the map. So these are, if you guys don't mind.
Oh, you asked the question, Coop?
Yeah, part of it could cut off. It was hard to hear.
We didn't hear the last part. Ask that question again.
Yeah, I was just saying that we want to talk about these institutional issues, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we can say what we're going to say. We're going to say whatever you want to say. So yeah, we want to talk about those institutions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I mean I've heard Brother Perry talk about volume to this and speak strongly to those situations, and so we want to make sure. I understand we have African American and Hispanic officers and sheriffs and working in these positions now, but this is not against our cousin now. I mean, I have a niece that wants to be a police officer, so we're not protesting against the system that is not designed for poor people and minorities. We want to change those laws. As a matter of fact, because of the protests that we've had here I don't even want to bring up the name right now because I don't want somebody to say, well, I can't speak to that because I'm connected to this case. So what I want to talk about tonight is not a case. I want to talk about an issue, and that is transparency and truthfulness. We should have laws. Matter of fact, state representatives that are up and running from Beaumont, Texas, all the way up to Dallas, Texas. And I'm saying we need new laws to where there's transparency. The body cameras, the police officers are there, the cameras is inside the jails. We pay for those. The salaries we pay for it. The buildings we pay stuff. We're asking for access to our stuff. These are the things that we want to have, and we're a community that we can be trusted with. And I said the community. We have over 1,000 people showed up the day after 17 hours after George Floyd, millions of people. We had a peaceful protest. So what I'm saying is that we can be trusted with information and not burn down our city and tear up our communities. We have to live here. So that's what we're doing every Thursday at 10 a.m. It's not about a particular case. It's about a system, an institution that needs from this, and we have to change those laws. So that's why we bring in more focus. Sure, he has representation. That's great, but we don't want just this to be about going forward. Like I said, there are state representatives that's coming on board. They're saying we need some laws, write the bill so they can turn into laws. So that's really make sure that we have people that's in office that has our voice and our concerns.
Perry, you want to add on there?
Good evening, Pastor Cooper.
Good evening.
Always good to see you. I guess I don't disagree that this has always been our approach. I mean, the NAACP, I guess in some sense, if you want to look at this in terms of offense and defense, the NAACP in defense of us has always been our best offense. It's where we achieved some of our keystone legislations, from the Civil Rights Act to the Voting Rights Act. I mean, it came in the NAACP's defense of these, and so we had advancement. And I'm all for that. I guess what I'm struggling with is we know what they did to get us here. What is our strategy for moving forward? I'm not against protests. I'm not against all of those public civil acts of disobedience. They are important. I'm for that. I just think that it becomes, we're kind of in a new age, and so where that was always the impetus to move us forward, we're in this age now where laws seem not to always even be as strong as the paper that they're written on. If I'm wrong, someone please stop me. But I mean, we see a past president that is violating known laws. So forgive me if I'm a little jaded in being confident that it's always laws. But when I look at the environment from which I grew up in, yes, there were the laws and they were changing policy. But what influenced me was not the laws. It was what was happening inside my community. And so where is that talk? Because that's been just as long. I mean, that's lost just as much as voting rights have been lost. Our sense of who our community is and our responsibility to community is just as lost. So how are we going to talk about keeping the city responsible? We haven't even been responsible to our own neighborhoods. Maybe I'm in the wrong crowd to have that conversation tonight. But I'm just saying we have this responsibility, Pastor Cooper, and yes, for so much of this, they'll let this be up to you and a few others. But how do we galvanize this community? Because I believe the community is looking for leadership. I believe that they're hesitant about what is the leadership and where is it taking us.
I think a lot of
that's a great question.
questions.
Go ahead, Ms. Griffin. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I think that people are skeptical because of questions that are risen about the leadership that can be they shouldn't even be brought up because they're not actually happening. So I think that you're right in that it's been questioning the leadership, but see where they've given us a reason to. As far as this community is concerned, anyway.
So you're saying that we do not have leadership in the city.
No, we do, but
we do. Yeah, I would say one of the things is that one of the things that I perceive to be a big weakness is the lack of communication among leadership.
Yes.
Okay, that you're right. I agree with you.
I mean they're leaders, but I mean but this tribal mentality will be our downfall.
Well, I believe that what you got, and that's the reason why we reached out to you guys, and like communication. We have to use the tools that's available. In 1965, these tools were not available to us. So even right now, with you on these podcasts, asking the tough questions, and what I like about it is that y'all are not asking the tough questions, even when we have our Hispanic leaders. I was with HPAC, stepping it up, and they're moving into leadership positions. We have our first female black. We have our first female African American city attorney. I'll go on and on and on. But you all continue to come out every week and continue to. And so what I'm saying is that don't get weary in your well doing. Continue to equipment that you have, a voice that you have, until I leadership, those that are in position, those that are trying to make a difference. I was with the police department last week. I believe that they did this, recognize, memorialize one of the first fallen officers that was African, which was one of the first officers that was African American. And so now they, in the same sense, they went back to some young lady. I wish I had a name, but I didn't realize she was going to be on Pod Up this quickly because I thought so busy. But Tony said, yes, come on this week. But anyway, she found another one. And this is that. Yes, continue to question. Yes, continue to search. Continue to find. But why we need to continue to press Republican Party, Democratic Party, Green Party, Independent Party. It's not a good party. I'm not feeling good about any party. Or any, the leadership is not there. So we need someone that's going to challenge status quo. I believe that the protests that we've had with Dr. William Barber coming down here, Rainbow Push Coalition later on, he's been in rehab, doing some things. That we have to continue in our community, in Detroit, in Philadelphia, Atlanta. We have to do those things in our community. And our equipment that you guys have here. Tony's been a DJ for years. Brother Perry, an activist. You've been active since I've known you. Aggressively active. I think you all are the leaders. So y'all looking for leadership. I believe what you're doing as a podcast. And
I believe that too. We step up every week. Yeah, and we activated. And we activated the community, and the community listens to us. But our goals, and Perry can agree, is that I've been working to try to increase our voice. In other words, we need more involvement, and as we continue to reach out to the public, it takes them maybe a week to hear our message. What we want to do,
listen.
They're listening,
live and listening. So don't get weary. Y'all doing well. That's the reason why I chose your podcast. I'm Channel 12, everyone, MS, and seeing it. I can't, but I don't think they're the ones that can make a change. There's some young folks that's listening.
Yeah.
Continue to ask them to press when you get folks, leadership, so-called leadership, continue to press. But we can't be afraid to continue to protest as we press.
Mm-hmm.
I see Perry's
Trish?
mouth moving out here.
Oh, wait, he's on mute. Wait, I'm sorry. He's muted. That's okay. Hold on. There you go, Perry. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. No, what I would also hope is that we also understand is that we definitely have to build, for lack of a better word, a better machine here.
Right.
Because we get good results, but sometimes they aren't planned results. Sometimes they aren't the intended results. But what would happen if we did come together? And yes, this program is meant to be a mouthpiece, and it can do more. But we also need to bring in more, and I know one of the things that has been the hardest is this generational connection, and we've got to be more intentional about it, and in some ways learn to help take a step back and let our young people lead, and we advise and guide. And I'm not saying anything new. I mean, we all remember when we were new to this, and some of the elders would push us to the side. We all remember that. My thing is, let's not be like those elders. Let's learn some good lessons. Because if we're going to do that, you never know what young person who could be a catalyst, just because you don't see it and just because you're trying to put them into this peg. Sometimes we need to step back and listen. We're all parents, and I think we understand that. And so now that we got these grown kids, let's begin to
bring them in.
Yeah, bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't come in like we came in, and let's not act like they did.
Mm-hmm.
We all, I mean, from Super T, I mean, all of us, we all have our genesis from this is at a very early age. Very early. I mean, some of us preteens. How are we going to expect the best of them and they haven't connected and they're in their 20s and their 30s? And these are our kids. So don't let me blame apples. I'm blaming trees tonight.
Right.
I love it. I love it. But no, you're right. Matter of fact, when we went to Biotics, that was a baby that invited me. I said baby. She's 23. I have the time to March through. Miss Madison. She's the one that called the NAACP office. Biotics is on the stage where they burnt the cross, and after that, the NAACP they called it Black Lives Matter. God, time I hadn't heard of Black Lives Matter. I didn't know that movement, but they had some flags and stuff showed up. But to the point that is that without knowing it accidentally, we and the daughter saw it, and she said, "Dad, hold on, you've been verified." I said, "What does that mean?" I didn't know what it meant. And like Twitter, because so much motion around the George Floyd case. I'm saying that just like that was something that happened to someone else's neighborhood. Just lived in Houston for a while. Matter of fact, they said he was Stephen Jackson's twin. Stephen Jackson. So this is closer home than we think. I'm saying is that we cannot, once we have the tension in those areas, and then we need to focus on the George Floyd movement or Black Lives Matter, anything like that. We have to focus on this institutional, systematic racism that is written over the years, over 200 years. It took 200 years to undo it. That's laws, and I understand what you're saying, Brother Perry, that we can have laws. And there's a guy that acting as though he's above the law, but it's our job to hold only officials,
everybody accountable.
Accountable. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our job to city council meeting and commission court and say, hold on, these are the new laws on the book. With people, this is our democracy. We're defending our Constitution. This is our constitutional right. We wrote the laws. We wrote the laws this modern day, And I believe if we continue doing that, these young babies are serious. They're serious. Maddie did out at 23 years old. Her name escapes me. She's from Port Neches, African American lady that went to school in Port Neches. Brother in Bader, Texas, was picked on so many times in Bader, Texas. Got used to it, but he didn't give up. So they were all young people, and we're saying that we need to continue to be the tree, take the responsibility. I take the responsibility. That's why there are more folks watching you than you think. You're making a difference in the impact. I had someone come to me and say, yes.
Everybody there? Oh,
what? So, with regard to the case, what's the latest, and where are we with this?
Well, he had a criminal date for his criminal side of it. Pushed off as a lawyer term for that. But right now, we're still out there using the case to bring attention to truthfulness and trans local officials to the state of Texas, Austin, Texas, at 10 a.m. Thursdays, County Courthouse. Next Thursday, we're going to be at City Hall. We're going to be in the front, 15 minutes, up to date, up to speed. We're working on some things to where the Divine Nine and some other institutions working with us, like you were saying earlier, Texas Coalition Black Democrats, the State Accountability Choose. I think Tony, Miss T's little cousin, she's even adopted. So we got a lot. And she's a young person. She's an aggressive boy working Houston, Texas, dealing with slumlords and CPS issues, all kinds. So we are igniting and exciting young folks like that. And Beaumont, Brother Dean, Alfred Dean, different people like that, Brandon Johnson. These are young folks that are out there doing stuff in the community, getting elected to boards. But what we're doing accountable. I understand that they don't have the power to change laws, and they get recommendations. Oh, I can't. My lawyer gave a recommendation. I can't. I lose my position here, and I'm better off in the position. Yeah, we do is like what the police department did here in Beaumont. They brought recognition to two fallen officers. The institution did not recognize those fallen officers, but when you go into the police station to the left-hand side, ever fallen in duty, there's a plaque on the board.
Not to interrupt you, Pastor. I want you to do something for me. I want you to, sure, because you're speaking in bits and pieces, and we not can hear you. So I want you to log out and log back in, so let it reset.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll be talking with Perry until you pop back in. Okay. Trish, Perry.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, because I was having a problem.
I was having a problem hearing him, so I said let's pop in and pop out, and we'll get back with him when he comes back in.
Yeah.
But I kind of got to figure what he was talking about, and I misunderstood our short conversation. Let's see. All right, how is that? Let's see. Go with it again.
Hey.
Yeah, I hear you. We see you.
All right. I can hear you all and see you all.
Okay. Now much better.
All right, great.
So where did we leave off at? You meeting on Thursdays, right?
Well, I was just saying that the protests that we've had so far, and since we've been working on this over 400 with the Christopher Shaw case so far, I believe it to where people are looking in their own institutions saying, what can we do better to change public opinion and to do better with poor people, minority people, communities. That's all we're trying to do is bring light to that. So what I want here, because like I say, you all have the people's heart and their ear. I want to get to the ones that make a difference. See, that's the other thing too. We don't need to have
Brother Pastor.
Yeah.
Brother Pastor, before you go, and I know you got a lot, I'm just trying to find out, okay, how has this, who has the final say over the release of the tape? And is that still the part that we're still fighting over, is the release of the tape for the attorney? And again, who is having say so? Is that caught up in the courts, or is it just a procedure, or what?
I give you an answer to that. There's a guy named, Ken Paxton. You ever heard of that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. That's Attorney General. Told all the folks in position in Jefferson County he cannot authorize the release of the tapes because it's pertinent information that's jail, which is partnered with the county jail, and he doesn't want to release that. He has denied the release of the tapes because it has that. But he fails to.
Hold on. Y'all going too fast I'm a goat. You got to put it where the goats can eat it, as Joe Madison say. You got to put this low. Okay. How did this jump all the way to Ken Paxton getting in
because they sent the tape to Ken Paxton?
That's not normal protocol.
The problem is
that normal protocol?
That's the protocol, is that each institution is checked by the next. So you have, and then you have the state.
Hold on. So an arrest that leads to someone getting paralyzed, somehow we get caught up in the jail.
State issue. Yeah, and that's the reason why, Brother Busby, 6 years ago when I stepped down and looked and saw the issues we had. The issues we had were not local issues. People would love to do this and do that, but they couldn't. They always said, "My hands are tied." Who tied your hands? So saying kudos out to our sheriff, Zena Stevens, because she called in Texas Rangers to take her out. And the only reason I keep repeating that is because that's public release information. Ranger. Our state president said, "Wow, I wouldn't have done that because the Texas Ranger can shuffle." So protocol is that they can't release this. Say we don't recommend it. Don't do that. There's a case with the lawsuit. Can't speak on. These are institutional ways of keeping the city and seeing, having transparent eyes and seeing the things that's happening. These are laws and institutional things that were in place since 1800s. Man,
so this happens in Houston and Austin and Dallas. You're telling me this happens statewide?
Let's move on because I'm a statewide kind of guy. Mayor Sylvester Turner turned out. Watch this, and I don't care who I put on blast. He said 2.5 years ago that he's going to be more transparent, and then he stopped talking about it. And now he's turned out. And so in Houston, Texas, transparency than what we have here, because he probably figured out what I know now is that they're greater than he. When you go to releasing things and wanting to do good, and we have that desire to do well, but then you have lawyers who say that's an open case. I don't suggest that you release these videotapes. I'm telling you not to do it. But to my face, it said you're opening up a can of worms. Don't do it. These are lawyers, professionals that represent us, the people, but we the people. So that's the reason why, yes, I want to talk about Chris Shaw, but I want to talk more about protesting that we need more transparency in the institution, because it's made it all the way up to Kansas. Everybody said, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. My hands are tied. I've had officials tell me to do back protest because I can't do anything. That's in Dallas. Go look and see. The only places that's
So the use of body cams is null and void in Texas?
the what?
So the use of body cam footage is null and void in Texas?
They're going to use it in the courts, and then it's going to be released later on. But what we're looking for is an issue to release the body cam immediately at the time of the incident. And this is that we're not the judge and jury. We just want to see what you're talking to court and defend what it is that's on the tape and the film, because everyone has a difference in getting an idea. Well, brother, it was your father that time. And when I went to seminary, I found about the Q. The Q is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Angles in which they perceived what they saw. But every time you read the scripture, you'll find out that they had a different angle. That's that they had a different angle, a different view. And then they brought their own biases to the things that this is that we the people are not looking to judge and be the jury, but it is that's in question. So that's why we're asking for transparency, is to release the tapes immediately, so we can see.
But his defense hasn't seen it either.
They not the criminal. I don't know about the criminal. I only know about the civil suit. They saw it, but it's not legal for us to see it. It hasn't been released for us to see it yet. Give you an example. When y'all we gasped and but they still had to go to trial to try out the case. So that didn't change the trial. That didn't change anything. So that's all Texas. Now our voices are being heard on MSNBC, CNN, because we're fighting the same thing that they're fighting in Atlanta and Boston and everywhere else. Truthfulness and transparency. And we want to use this case to push those questions that we, the people, the NAACP, we want to encourage folks to come out on those. This is not a witch hunt. We don't care that your brother or sisters are law enforcement. We're pushing for them to have those jobs and get bonuses and things like that. Matter of fact, there were two pushing. I pray for the new officers to come on board. So this is not a witch hunt. I guess we department. If anything, we want to inform them. We want to make sure that workers working there to deal with mental illness. This is Mental Illness Awareness Month. These are the things that. So we're not protesting to do less. We're protesting the voices of the people are heard, and that we want transparency and truthfulness, and about us, because there's strength in numbers. When we show up and say, "Hey, we just want to institute,"
hello, we there?
I'm
okay.
Still
Okay. All right.
Today,
okay.
So, so the ask from the community going forward is exactly
to show up every Thursday. This Thursday, we're going to be at. Come out there for 15 minutes. Get an updated one on. Let the people know, because he cannot stand for himself.
Okay.
And the reason why this Thursday, 10 a.m. at Jefferson County Courthouse, we want to for Christopher Shark. Then the following Thursday will be a 6. We're going forward.
He's breaking up again, but I understand what he's saying now. That meeting at 10 o'clock. Yeah. But so you want the message out there that you guys are meeting at 10 o'clock every Thursday morning in front of the Jefferson County Courthouse. Okay, we got that. All right, now I understand. We're having some
Okay.
audio issues, but we're gonna work on that. And I appreciate you, Cooper, for coming on and joining us this evening. And it's just, and I appreciate, I give you, I thank you, and I appreciate you giving us a heads up that we are making a dent in the community,
That's
and we're
right.
going to continue to do this because this is a God thing. So we enjoy you. We're going to stay on top of it. We got more community work to do, and I'm going to continue to do what I do, along with Trish, Perry, and Terry, and Chris. All right, where I say Chris, Terry, and Trish. We're going to continue to stay up there. We're going to continue to stay in front of the city council every Tuesday. We're going to be making sure that we keep them accountable. And also, I like to get involved more with the county. It's time for us to get more involved in the county. But we
Hmm.
need to put some judges in place. We need our
For sure.
representatives on the courts. We need representatives with the courts. So that is my next project. Because I feel like we're almost there with the city. We got enough that we can continue to stay involved with the city of Beaumont and the city council and the mayor, and make sure we keep them accountable. Now it's time for us to get involved in the county, Jefferson County. And with that said, I think somebody's cooking in the background. I didn't get anything to eat. I wasn't invited. But anyway, we're going to be back here, I think, Tuesday. Again, on my birthday, we're going to be talking about some other issues that we're going to be working on. But Michael Cooper, Pastor Cooper of Church of I Am, and the president of the NAACP Beaumont branch, we thank you for coming and being involved. And we appreciate you being our guest. Thank you so much. And anytime you're ready to get on here and pass a message on, you do what you do. You call me and I'll say, hey, let me look at the schedule and I'll slide you right on there, okay? All right, guys. Hey, okay, before you guys, not you, Pastor, but Perry and Trish, before we leave, stay on. I got a message afterwards, okay? You there? Thank you, guys. All right, bye.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.